What's good, y'all? It's your boy Havoc with Final Round. So, the question I'm gonna ask is, should Deontay Wilder retire? And look, who am I? I'm not trying to encourage anybody to retire, and even if I was trying to, I mean, it's not like I have any influence over him, so bear with me, you guys. Personally, well, let me put it like this, you guys. What does he have? What is he fighting for? What is he fighting for? Is it money? Is it the fame, notoriety? Is it, wanting to be the best in the world or become a champion again? And I gotta say this, I don't think it's to become the best here's one more. Does he love the sport? Does he love competing in boxing? And if he does love it, does he love it for the right reasons? Because I don't think he's fighting to be the best anymore unless he waits until Tyson Fury retires. And Fury's gonna have about a year or two of boxing left in him till he gets that undisputed. And who knows what happens to Fury? Maybe he loses, he has to redeem himself and he keeps on. We don't know. But if you're not fighting to become the best, I think there's problems there. Okay? And especially a man of his stature within the sport to where he was competing to be the best. It's one thing if you're a journeyman and this is what you do, right? And you're just trying to bring some extra money in. But he's Deontay Wilder. Say what you want to say about him. He was one of the top heavyweights of this era of boxing in the heavyweight division. He's never going to become the best, especially as long as Tyson Fury is still boxing. He's never going to be the best. So what are you fighting for? Now, if you're fighting for money, fair enough, dude. This is what you do. This is your specialty. This is what you're good at. Get your money. But just understand, it could go downhill from here. It could get worse. I think there's a killer's row of heavyweight boxers coming up and currently in the division. And I don't think there's any easy fights for him. And then on top of that, he took a beating. Those beatings, people don't realize, those beatings take something out of you mentally and physically. And you even start to become chinny if you take enough punishment. And you start losing the guys you shouldn't even be losing to. Sport is brutal, man. And that's one of the biggest issues with a lot of fighters is when to get out. And it's better to get out earlier and sooner than later. And he's even talking about it. He mentioned it before the fight. He was thinking about retirement if he loses. If you're out already, then you're out, dude. You're mentally gone. And this is a sport where we all know you have to be all in. You have to be all in. Because if you're not, especially at that level, especially with all these up-and-coming heavyweights in the division and currently the top contenders, it's not going to be pretty for him. I don't think Andy Ruiz is an easy fight for him. I don't think that Alexander Usyk is an easy matchup for him. Dillian White, there's not going to be any easy fights. You got this young man, Jared Anderson, coming up. He looks phenomenal. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, but he looks phenomenal. The only matchup I kind of like that makes sense for money and maybe redeeming yourself and, closing the chapter on your career is Anthony Joshua. I think he has a good chance to win against Anthony Joshua. I give it just to him just because of the power and the heart and determination. And, Anthony Joshua has a lot he needs to prove in this rematch with Usyk. He really does. And I can see if he loses to Usyk, they both can kind of have this matchup, UK versus US, two heavyweight competitors trying to redeem themselves from their losses. And he has a good chance at winning. But he can even still lose that fight. Who knows? But other than money, I don't see what else he has left to fight for. And at some point, you got to make that transition. You got to prepare to get out sooner than later. And I don't think he loves the sport if he does, I don't think it's for the right reasons. Because if Deontay loved the sport, he would be a student of the game. You would see the skills and the craftsmanship. You would see the technical work. You know, because people who love the sport, they study it. It's their life. They don't just rely on their ability. They study it to a T because that's how much they love it. I think Deontay Wilder loves the praise, the adulation, and you know, the notoriety from the sport, and the, you know, being in love with that feeling of knocking a person out. But I don't know if he truly loves the sport. So, do I think he should retire? Yeah. I think it's time to let go. Get out. I think there's too many worst case scenarios if you don't. But the only thing I would entertain if I did come back would be Anthony Joshua if he loses. I think that's a fight I can win. That's a fight I can make lots of money with. But even then, now if you win that fight, now you're entertaining other possible fights. Now they're talking about a rematch with Fury, or you facing another top contender, which may not go your way. And now you lose again. And that's the thing, man. You got to know when to get out. You got to know when to get out, because it's intoxicating. Because you can win one and then you can think you can get back on top of the world when you really can't. And shame on ESPN. Jesus, last night it was disgusting the way they were trying to encourage a rematch. I don't know his name, Kenny Bayless or Kenny Smith on the broadcast, something like that. And thank God for Andre Ward and Lennox Lewis, because throughout the night you can see ESPN probably encouraged him to suggest a rematch between Wilder and Fury. You know, he was mentioning that Wilder hurt his hand, and, you know, oh, well, I guess we have, you know, he's kind of suggesting we should have a rematch. We might need a rematch. He hurt his hand. He broke it. We're not getting a fair shake here. It's like, dude, he loses that fight 10 times out of 10. It is what it is. And will people buy into a rematch? Of course. Will people watch it? Of course. You know, we know Wilder's going to fight his ass off, but I think he loses every single time. And at the same time, I also think he's going to get punished severely every single time. It was just disgusting. I understand their job is to make money. And, you know, they want to bring a rematch because they know the money it can make and how exciting it can be. But, dude, to suggest a rematch after this dude got beat 3 times and took a pummeling, it's just, to me, it was disgusting. It was disgusting. And like I said, thank God for Andre Ward and Lennox Lewis. They were like, nah, we don't need to see. I mean, would it be entertaining? Yes, but nah, it's over with. It's done with. We need to move on. There's bigger and better things to look forward to. And we don't need to see this man take any more punishment. Yeah. So I was very disgusted on ESPN's part. But yeah, you guys. I mean, not trying to be discouraging, but what does he have left to fight for unless he's just fighting for money and he needs it? I know sometimes this is all fighters have, but enjoy your work. Enjoy your work, man, what you worked for, what you sacrificed. Enjoy retirement. Enjoy your family, your kids, while you still have your faculties. Because you keep flirting with this sport and sticking around, it's going to take something from you can never get back. And I mean that. I mean that. I don't want to... Deontay Wilder, I lost a lot of respect for him in many ways, but that doesn't mean I want to see the guy end up punch drunk, slurring his words. I mean, even in interviews, I don't know if he's just nervous from stuttering, stuttering from nervousness, or, maybe he's starting to be impacted by the punishment he took. I don't want to see it. It's not worth it. Dude, you had a great career. You came in the sport late and you did some pretty spectacular things. So I think he should retire. I think that should be the end. And he should, try to make amends and apologize for the way he conducted himself with this trilogy. And I think everybody will respect him after that. But yeah, you guys, it's your boy Havoc, final round. Comment below, like the video, subscribe. Tell me what you think. Do you think Wilder should retire? If not, what matchups do you think would be good for him? yeah, just let me know, man. It was a freaking great weekend of fighting, and at the end of the day, boxing is still alive, you guys. So be safe, take care, get at me.